How do we survive the Trumpocalypse? I don't know if I just coined that term or not. I'm sure somebody else has probably thought of it before, but the coming storm, or it's coming, we're in the middle of it already. Well, I guess we're not in the middle. We're just getting fucking started. It seems like we've been in the middle of this for, ages. And I guess to a certain extent we have, since we had to survive 4 years of them before. And then another 4 years of him campaigning to come back. And now here he is again. What the fuck? All right. So how do we survive it? What is the Trumpocalypse that is unfolding in front of us? What are the possibilities? Well, they're dark. I mean, they're already dark. But we have economic collapse imminent, I would say. Now, hopefully, the courts are trying to fight him on some of this stuff, when it comes to firing employees and trying to, destroy the entire government. The courts are trying to block him on that. We'll see how that plays out. But, his tariffs and economic policies, if you can call it that, up to this point are already wreaking havoc. And we haven't actually really felt the effects of that quite yet. It's coming. He seems hell-bent on putting tariffs on every damn country in the planet, who then retaliate against us and vice versa. And then again, it's just escalating. It's like the Cold War and missile race all over again. So there's that. Then, of course, there's all, he wants to deport everybody, which will also increase prices and economic collapse, because a lot of those people pick our fucking vegetables and put roofs on our houses and do all kinds of other stuff. Make tacos or whatever. And run all kinds of restaurants, not just Mexican restaurants, but a lot of workers in restaurants, because restaurants don't pay that much usually, are immigrants, and some of them are undocumented. But Trump doesn't really give a damn whether they're documented or not. Not really. He wants to deport them all, quite frankly. If you don't think that, then you should probably pay attention to his fucking speeches. And I know a lot of Hispanics voted for him in this last election. Why? I have some ideas, but they're all bullshit. It's not paying attention to what he had to say. That goes for most people that vote for him, really. All right, so there's some hard shit coming down the road. How do we not get swept up in Trump's, shock and awe tactics, flooding the zone, as they like to call it, which he's definitely doing. I mean, it's every day, all day long. Trump did this, Elon did that. It's new shit, and then the responses and reactions to all that, it's over fucking whelming. I get it, trust me, it overwhelms me. Sometimes the one solution is to step the hell away from it for a bit. I mean, it's one thing to be informed, it's one thing to be overwhelmed to the point where you can't focus on what the hell you're supposed to be doing, right? Your job and your family and friends and all that, which are way more important. And really, the ultimate response to any kind of assault on democracy like this is, of course, that's the other thing he's doing, is literally trying to dismantle the government and the law by ignoring it and just doing whatever the hell he wants. Will he get away with that? So far he has. I mean, he's he's got 34 felony convictions, all right, and he was still elected into the White House. What the fuck? I mean, I know most of you probably agree with me. If you don't, fuck you. Seriously, you can go elsewhere. I don't care about your MAGA opinions because they're not valid. You can have it, but it don't make it valid. Because it's not based on actual reality. So, how are we going to get through the next couple days, much less the next 4 years of this crap? And that's assuming that it ends in 4 years, which is a huge assumption. I mean, he's already said, he wants to run for a third, time, which is not actually legal anymore. But he said it, so you really should take him at face value on that he will try to find a way to do. I mean, he tried to stay in 2020 when he got voted out and started an insurrection. Violent one. And he's pardoned all those people. So they're back out on the street. So you can call them up again. That's why he did it. Largely. So there's no guarantee that we'll have an election in 2028. I mean, a lot of Democrats keep talking. I mean, I get it. That's positive thinking and what else are we going to do? Well, if that doesn't work, there's only one option left. If he wants to declare himself king or president for life, as Steve Bannon, Stinky Steve Bannon said, then, we have to throw him out physically. And what does that mean? Civil war. I mean, that's what it would mean. All right, so now that I've painted a rosy picture for the future, sorry about that. What the fuck are we going to do about it? Well, a lot is being done. The courts are definitely pushing back on him. What will happen ultimately in the Supreme Court? Is anybody's guess? Flip a coin. On some of them, I think they'll, the two judges in the middle will go with our guys or our ladies, I should say, and make a 5-4 decision on something, especially like birthright citizenship. I think we'll win that one. But who knows? The other stuff, we'll see. But what can an average person do? Well, first you got to take care of your own mental health. I do it by getting up early, working out, getting some exercise, go for a walk, meditate. I usually meditate for like an hour every morning. I know a lot of people that's tough. You just gotta get out of bed earlier or go to bed later, whatever. Do it at night. I find it works better for me in the morning. But one trick that I learned from some YouTube video, I think it was a TED Talk or whatever, but is a kind of mantra, a really simple one, is are my thoughts useful? How are they behaving? I can't remember the video now. If I find it, I'll put a link down below. But it really helps to slow down the racing mind, which is a big problem of mine, always has been. Just you have to keep coming back to that, just like any mantra or any meditation technique. You have to keep coming back to it. And it's okay if your mind wanders, because that's what it's gonna do. No way around it. But it helps calm down a little bit. Then, I think we need to start speaking out. That's why I started these videos on my channel and changed the name of the channel. I've changed it a couple times in the last few days, but it's not that many of you watching anyway, so you probably didn't even notice. Today I changed to Fearless Freedom, because when you're afraid, you're not free. As long as you have fear of anything, you're still enslaved to that fear. And this is something that Trump uses. This is why he floods his zone. This is why he uses all the shock and all, do this quick, trying to get everything through, before we notice it, is he's trying to overwhelm us. It's literally part of his fucking strategy, right? Not just his, because putting Trump and strategy in the same sentence is probably really not very accurate, because I don't think he actually has one. But the people who wrote Project 2025 definitely do. And they're pushing all this. They're just saying, sign this, sign this, sign this. I mean, he ain't writing all those damn executive orders. He can't put two sentences together without fucking them up. So you know he didn't write that shit, right? Like most of his tweets probably written by somebody else. I don't know, some of them you can tell he wrote them. Some of them's like, that's a little bit too articulate for Trump. So we can assume that he didn't write it if it's articulate. So, you know, if there's and almost all of the executive orders are fairly articulate, if insane and illegal. He didn't write it. They just said, here, sign this. Maybe he masked what it was about. Maybe even read it. I kind of doubt it. Mostly he's just signing them. And then they put it on Anti-Truth Social and you know, X and whatever, wherever, everywhere, you know. Send it out to Fox News so they can broadcast his propaganda. Anyway, I don't even know why I went down this way. Anyway, he's trying to overwhelm us and instill fear so that we'll back up and crawl into a little corner and be like Chuck Schumer and be afraid to stand up to him. Sorry, Chuck, but you're a candy ass. Grow up hair, as I said this morning. If you want to see that video, it'll be at the end up here. If I think about it, I'll put it in the description there. But anyway, what was I going to say? I don't know. Anyway, he's trying to instill fear in us. That's what I was talking about. And we have to feel, that's okay. You feel afraid. I mean, I do. But then we have to let that go. And we'll talk more about fear and how to deal with that. That's a big topic that I'm going to talk about probably forever on here, because it is the only problem. And so if we react out of fear, you generally do stupid shit. That's why everything Trump does is stupid. Because he's a little scaredy shit, punk ass who is still afraid of daddy and mama, and mama never gave him enough love, and daddy beat him around and called him a loser. We know that because that's his favorite word to use about everybody else. That's projection. Anytime he says they're a loser, it means I'm a loser, they must be a loser. That's what that means. And this whole persona of this, I'm the tough guy, I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm the alpha male, the ultimate alpha male, and all that bullshit. Look, any male, any man, as far as that goes, it stands for women too, but we're talking about Trump, so any man who tells you they're an alpha male isn't. They're a punk. If they tell you that, you know, they're a genius, they're a dumbass. If they pretend to be brave, they're a coward. Every time. Okay? Because actual, confident, strong, intelligent, you know, thoughtful people, not just men, don't have to tell you they are. Simple as that. So if I say I'm a genius, no, I'm a dumbass. And everyone else who says that is. I don't care what they're on a piece of paper, what their IQ is. I'm sure Trump's is quite low, actually. I've never seen any evidence that he was intelligent at all. I mean, he's bragged about not even ever reading a book. How can you be intelligent if you never read a book? You can't, period. You might have, maybe some people could have high aptitude for intelligence, but they don't actually know anything if they didn't read, period. Simple as that. They don't know shit. So he doesn't know shit, and that's clear. And everything he does, this idea that tariffs, are going to be paid by the foreign country is just complete bullshit. And every economist who isn't lying to you will tell you that that's just crap. So he's not smart, and he's a little scaredy cat. He's a bully. All bullies are punks. Every bully in the history of the world, and I'm a historian, every one of them was or is a punk. And the quickest way to make them run back to mommy is to punch them right in the mouth. Stand up to them and say, nope, we're not playing your crap. You can take your little fucking ball and go home, or we'll kick your ass. And that's how we have to treat Trump. And his supporters, for that matter, because they're all punk asses and little baby men and baby women, for that matter, follow punk asses. And that's why they follow him, because inside they know that they ain't all that smart and all that brave and all that confident, but he makes them feel like it's and that's why he can convince them that he is, because they're not either. Right? He can come out and say, I'm a genius, and they believe it because they wouldn't know what a genius was if it smacked them in the head. So just breathe, okay? Think about what your talents are in this world, and what voice you already have, right? And then find a way to spread positivity and confidence and say, look, we're going to stand up to this asshole. And then we'll start forming, a large coalition of people, tens and hundreds of millions, let's make it. At least 100 million or more would do it. And, we can do that. We got to take back the whole idea that patriotism belongs to the Republican Party. It doesn't belong to them at all. They gave it up. The moment they put Trump in the first time, they gave up their right to call themselves patriots, because Trump wants to be a dictator. And in America, you can't be a patriot and for dictatorship. Period. And when they stormed the Capitol, nothing patriotic about it. They got flags with Trump's name on it, which is illegal, by the way. Traitors, every goddamn one of them. We are not. We stand up for democracy, the rule of law. No one, including the president, is above the law. I don't care what the Supreme Court said about it. He has some kind of immunity if he's just doing his job, which he's not. He's trying to do everybody else's job because he's trying to take over the country. He said he was going to be a dictator on day one. He said, for one day. Nope, there's never been such a thing as a one-day dictator in the history of the world. I know. Never happened. They always want to rule forever. That's why the Constitution was set up the way it is, to keep mainly the president in check more than anybody else. And around here, we're going to stand for the Constitution. Period. Anything that's unconstitutional, I refuse to obey it. That's another thing. Refuse. If you're a government employee and they say, well, you take this, don't take anything, make them fire you, because then you can come back and sue them. And a lot of them already are. So resist. They're bullshit. Tell the damn truth. Fuck on. Live fearless.